Hillin has climbed out of his car. He's okay. As we're back under the green flag, the timing of that caution, a horrible one for Bill Elliott. He had just made a pit stop under the green flag to change a tire, and he is now just one car length shy of being a lap down. Petty's the leader. Richmond is second. Earnhardt and Labonte are just trying to hang on to the tail end of the lead lap, and there is Elliott just ahead of the race leader.
There's your second-place car, Tim Richmond, in the middle of your screen. He's in very, very heavy traffic.
Richmond made a late pit stop under the caution flag, and he'll have to climb all the way up through that traffic to have a run at Richard Petty. Petty now is trying to put Elliott a lap down. Just ahead of them is Ron Bouchard. Bouchard is 2 laps back, but he's still running in the top 10.
Richard Petty really wants to put Bill Elliott a lap down, because if right now, if the caution was to come out, Bill Elliott can go all the way back around the racetrack and be right back in the thick of things.
That also applies to Labonte and Earnhardt. They are getting away from Richard Petty, however. Tim Richmond still way back in race traffic.
If Richmond cannot get by this traffic cleanly, he will give Richard Petty a lot of an advantage that will be very hard to overcome.
Petty looking for a career victory, 199, and his first win of the season.
Bill Elliott is trying his best to keep in the same lap. He's hoping for a caution flag desperately, along with Terry Labonte and Dale Earnhardt.
Right ahead of the leader, Elliott is now moving up on Terry Labonte. They will be racing for 4th position as Petty tries to put a lap on them. Richard Petty won the first 2 races ever held at the Speedway. In 1969, driving a Ford, the only year he drove Ford on the Winston Cup circuit, and in 1970 in a Plymouth.
Tim Richmond is still back in that heavy traffic, Mike. It looks very, very, very bad for him.
Richmond really has his work cut out for him. Try to get through traffic and run down this man. Stock car racing's all-time winner. Coming up on Ms. Lou, the 25th anniversary World 600, the longest race on the Grand National Stock Car Tour at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I know you're looking forward to that one, Phil Parsons.
Our entire Skull Bandit crew is looking forward to that one. It's about 30 miles from my home, 30 miles from our shop. We'll be there to do the best we can.
Donnie Allison and I will be in Charlotte to bring you the World 600 over many of these Ms. Lou stations. Richard Petty trying to wear out the field at Dover Downs, and we're just about into the countdown laps.
That's right, Mike, but you know, anything can happen at Dover. The race isn't over yet.
10 laps to go. The sign for Chief Starter Harold Kinder. And there is Petty, left side of your screen. He's got a lap on Bill Elliott as he whistles down the back straightaway. Down into turn number 3, right against the track apron. Elliott not about to let him get away. He'll get back on the lead lap if he possibly can. Now as Petty rounds off turn 4, well back in the field is Tim Richmond. There's Richmond's car. He is about a straightaway back of the leader.
He's doing the best he can, but there's some awfully fast cars in between he and the leader.
There's his engine builder, Harold Elliott, on the headset with Tim Richmond. Now just ahead of Richmond, Ron Bouchard and Ricky Rudd. Rudd was the race's pole sitter with a new record speed. Had a tire rub, had to make a pit stop, got himself a lap down. Bill Elliott, 1 lap down. He'd like to reverse that running order and hope for a caution flag that would allow him to come around and catch up to the lead pack.
He needs to get by Richard as quick as he can because he's running out of laps. There won't be enough laps left to clean up whatever would cause the caution flag and get back to green flag racing.
Petty smokes the tires coming off turn number 4. Back down at turn number 1. And Elliott is going to give it the try on the bottom side of the racetrack. Richard slid up just a bit, and Elliott is there.
At this point, Richard may feel like there is not enough laps left in order to get the green flag back out. So he may let Bill Elliott by to keep him wearing his car out, and just in case something might happen.
Elliott slides by and smokes the tires himself coming off the corner. Drivers hardly get a rest here at Dover. There's no chance to shake off any soreness, particularly after 495 miles of racing. The turns are banked 24 degrees. The straightaways here are banked 8 degrees. There on the left side of your screen is Ricky Rudd. Right behind him, Ron Bouchard. Bouchard started 15th, marched up into the front 5, but his crew let him run out of gas just prior to the first green flag pit stop. So he's a couple of laps
tough break. Ron Bouchard has really come on strong this year. He's run well in every race. He's run out of gas here. He's had some other problems. He could easily have a chance to win a race before long.
It won't be this one. Bouchard is 2 laps down, but he's battling Ricky Rudd for position. This man, Richard Petty, in car number 43, the STP Pontiac, owned by Mike Curb and wrenched by Buddy Parrott out of the shops in Kannapolis, North Carolina, has the lead. Now that Bill Elliott has gone past Petty, he can run down Terry Labonte. That would be the battle for 4th position.
That's true. And Dale Earnhardt and Darrell Waltrip are running together for 5th and 6th positions.
Tim Richmond, 2nd spot. He's running behind the Bouchard-Rudd battle, but is not gaining any ground on those 2 cars. There they are directly ahead of him. And a long way around to catch the leader, Richard Petty.
We've got 3 battles for position on the racetrack, but unfortunately none of them are for the lead.
Running by Tommy Gale on the low side of the racetrack, the Elizabeth, Pennsylvania driver, in Elmo Langley's car. There's Richmond, all by himself, his crew conferring, but they can't get him to the front, not with only 3 laps to go.
Richard's run a very strong race. He's been very easily one of the strongest cars all day long.
But for Harry Gant and for a while Bill Elliott and Bobby Allison, it's been Petty the second half of this race. The lap's winding down, and Tim Richmond with a lot of race traffic ahead of him, including 2 good strong battles for position.
It would take just about a major miracle for Tim Richmond to catch Richard Petty.
White flag for Richard Petty as he rounds turns 1 and 2. His crew up high on the pit wall, and Richard can just about coast home from here.
That's right. He seems to have it well in hand right now. He's got a half a lap to go. He's running 135 miles an hour. He can coast in from here.
46 years old and almost twice as many victories as his next closest pursuer. Richard Petty comes off turn 4, takes the checkered flag, and wins the Budweiser 500. Tim Richmond will follow home in 2nd spot. Terry Labonte will get 3rd. Bill Elliott will be 4th. 5th will go to Dale Earnhardt, ahead of Darrell Waltrip, Buddy Baker, Ricky Rudd, Ron Bouchard, and Jeff Bodine.
There's a high 5 for the picture of Richard Petty.
Richard Petty has won the Budweiser 500, his 199th career victory in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, and his first win of the 1984 season.
You've got to hand it to Richard Petty. He is just as competitive as he was when he won the first race here at Dover 15 years ago.
The STP Pontiac heads for victory lane, and so will we after this.